This next topic is brought to us by Monarch Money. Have you ever checked your bank account and wondered, where'd all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center where you can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food, and now I'm able to budget smarter and save more than ever. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use promo code LOCKEDONNFL at Monarch Money for 50% off your first year. That is monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year. So this was a clip from ESPN Radio that happened on Wednesday, and Jason in the group chat immediately texted me about it. And this is something that Jay and I and Jay and Jason discussed after last Friday's show briefly, so I figured it was perfect to bring back today. But the question at hand is, if the Browns draft Shedeur Sanders and he wins a Super Bowl here in Cleveland, would that be bigger than LeBron's title in 2016? Here's what ESPN Radio said, and then we'll discuss whether or not we think they're right. Steve, let's hear it.
I think if you say to Shedeur, you can win.
If he won in Cleveland, I mean.
If you win in Cleveland versus win with the Giants, I think it's bigger winning in Cleveland. They've never seen it. We've seen it many times. We're sitting next to a guy who's done it.
And that is a passionate fan base.
It's the number one. The number one in terms of passion for their team, there's nothing greater than Cleveland.
If you're the first quarterback to deliver a Super Bowl to that franchise.
Bigger than LeBron.
Bigger than LeBron.
They love football more than basketball.
But that's a hometown guy.
They would trade the Cavs championship right now for Shedeur winning the title.
I think they would.
You know why they would? To their credit, and then we got to break. You know why they would? Because of what Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley and company are doing right now. They see, we can build this thing back. We can get to the places LeBron got to. They've never seen something getting to the places that every other team seemingly in the NFL has gotten to except them.
So it's really easy to say they would trade a Cavs championship for a Browns championship right now after you already ate the steak, drank the champagne, and celebrated the parade. Nobody here ate for 52 years. So it's not a fair comparison. Yes, okay, football can be bigger here than basketball. Fine, yes, you can be a bigger Browns fan than Cavs fan, whatever. That doesn't change that what LeBron did was historic. Like that, when you write the history of Cleveland sports, that is chapter one. And I don't say that lightly because of Jim Brown and Jesse Owens. We have an incredible history of sports here, and people tied to sports in Cleveland. And yeah, of course the Browns winning a Super Bowl would be unbelievable and huge and massive and all that. LeBron was born here. He grew up here. He's one of the greatest to ever play the game. He is a world-renowned, worldwide celebrity. Like, this is not even a sane conversation to have. If a quarterback came here and won a Super Bowl, of course he'd be hailed and cheered. Yes, it would be huge and massive, yes. What LeBron did in leaving here and then coming back with the sole intent, like he chose Cleveland and said, I have to fix this. I talked to Pat Riley about it, and Pat said, I knew he would have to go back and clean up what he left because that's home. And I mean, Pat didn't think he was going to do it in just 4 years. He thought he was going to have more time with it in Miami. But everyone in Miami always knew he was going to have to go home and fix this. And he did. And he came home and said, I am here to win a championship. And he delivered something nobody else could do in 52 years. And he did it against a team that went 73-9. And he did it by coming back, being the only team to ever come back from a 3-1 deficit. What are we talking about here? This is the greatest sports accomplishment in Cleveland history. It won't be topped even by a Browns Super Bowl, which, by the way, they don't look anywhere near. They can't even get their shoes on the right feet right now. You think they're anywhere close to winning a Super Bowl? LeBron has built a school. He has fed underprivileged children. Like, those kids walk into that school every day and they get a hot breakfast because a lot of them aren't eating at home. And you can talk to teachers all over the area about the hardest thing to do is get these kids fed because they don't eat at home. He set up programs for the parents to get their GEDs. He created a foundation, brought underprivileged kids in, and set up the parents to be able to get their GED to give their kids a better life. He's worked to get scholarships for these kids. And you think a quarterback coming here and delivering a Super Bowl is bigger than that? No, you're lost in the sauce on this one because what LeBron has done transcends sports. This is not even a debate. I hate when people say stuff like this because it's not even an apples to apples comparison. Nothing will ever top what LeBron did by coming back here and winning the championship in 2016.
I get to be the voice of the insane then.
Go ahead.
Because you made a lot of good points, salient points, but I will say this. Half of your argument was about LeBron's legacy, like the school and what he's meant and all of that. All on point. Fans don't care about that.
It's all part of who he is.
It is, but we're not arguing would Shedeur be bigger than LeBron.
Yeah, we are. That's what he just said.
No, I'm not. If that's what
that's
we're saying,
what he said.
No, what he said was would a title delivered by Shedeur
he said
be bigger
Shedeur
than
would
a
be
title delivered by LeBron.
He said
Unless I
Shedeur would be bigger
misunderstood
than LeBron, right? That's what he said.
No, that's not the way I heard it, Mike. Maybe I misunderstood it. What
Well,
I heard what they were arguing was would a Browns Super Bowl delivered by Shedeur be bigger than the Cavs championship?
Do we want to hear it again?
Yeah, let's hear it again
Let's hear
because
it one more
maybe I
time.
just was hearing what I wanted to hear.
Let's play
And
it
if
again.
that's the case, I'll apologize.
I think if you say to Shedeur, you can
If he
win.
won in Cleveland, I mean,
If you win in Cleveland versus win with the Giants, I think it's bigger winning in Cleveland. They've never seen it. We've seen it many times. We're
And
sitting next to a guy who's done it.
And that is a passionate fan base.
It's the number one. The number one in terms of passion for their team, there's nothing greater than Cleveland.
if you're the first quarterback to deliver a Super Bowl to that franchise,
Bigger than LeBron.
Bigger than LeBron.
they love football more than basketball.
But that's
Easily.
a hometown guy.
They would trade the Cavs championship right now for Shedeur winning the title.
I think they would. I think they would.
You know why they
I think
would?
they
To their
would.
credit, and then we got to break. You know why they would? Because of what Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley and company are doing right now. They see, we can build this thing back. We can get to the places LeBron got to. They've never seen something getting to the places that every other team seemingly in the NFL has gotten to except them.
Okay, so I think everybody's right. There were three arguments going on there in one debate topic. It started, would it be big? It sounded like, I didn't hear the setup from the moderator. It sounded to me like they were going to discuss, would it be bigger for Shedeur to win in Cleveland or New York? Because the first comment we heard was, it'd be bigger if he won with the Browns than the Giants because we've won here in New York.
I agree with that.
So then he kind of took it to, you're right, Shedeur would be bigger than LeBron.
That's insane.
But that part is insane. I would never, ever, ever go that far. Ever. No. If we're just talking legacy, LeBron is it.
That's the part that made my head.
Yeah, well, I'm with you
removed
on
from my
that.
body.
Here's what I heard. Here's what I thought we were going to discuss. And maybe I read the setup in the notes wrong. What I thought we were going to discuss was, would a Shedeur Sanders championship, Super Bowl win, be bigger in Cleveland than the LeBron-led championship was for the Cavs?
I don't know how you.
And I say it would be.
I mean, I don't know how. Where is the scale that weighs the two? Because what I saw in 2016, Mike, you got the footage? What I saw in 2016, I don't know how you top this.
Do you know what a Browns parade would look like?
Yeah, it would be 48
in
below in the
February,
middle of February.
And they'd still be there.
And I had all the stories of people who flew in from around the world because they wanted to be present.
Sure.
And they wanted to be part of this.
Who doesn't want to be in Cleveland in June?
How can you, but how do you get bigger than that? Yes, okay, people are going to come in from around the world for a Browns 1-2. That doesn't mean it's bigger than this.
Well,
52 years, 3-1 deficit, 73-9. Yeah. You don't get bigger than that. Can you match it?
Yes,
Sure.
I think you can get bigger, and here's how. Now, the data may have changed. I doubt it has. I used to see it every year. The last time I saw the data, it was a survey that was what percentage of, and this is kind of hard too because, like you say, how do you measure that?
Right.
But it's self-measurement. The question that I'm referring to was asked of Cleveland sports fans, do you consider yourself a diehard Browns fan, a diehard Guardians fan, a diehard Cavs fan? Now, you could answer yes to all three. But the number of people that said they were diehard Browns fans,
of course,
was
and I don't disagree with that.
34 points higher than those who said they were diehard Cavs fans.
Browns are bigger. I don't disagree with that at all.
And Jason, for me, that's why. And now I'll throw some things on there to make my case. I know it's been 52 years between championship drinks of champagne. It's been longer for the Browns. It's been not just that we haven't won, it's that we've been the laughingstock of the league for 3 decades.
Yeah.
We went away. We lost our team. They came back. They sucked. We wrecked a quarterback's career. We went 0-16. We went 1-15. It's been such a train wreck that I believe that if you're just measuring not player legacy, because I don't care, Shedeur would have to win 3
I don't care who the quarterback
approach
is.
LeBron's legacy here. But if you're going to compare what it means to the city, the euphoria that we would see, I just happen to think, and I think we should put this up for a poll somewhere, Would a Browns Super Bowl, forget Shedeur. I don't even
But that's the thing that made me just lose my mind. Was
that makes me lose my mind,
you're
too.
trying to compare
Yeah.
a quarterback who was sent here, who didn't choose to come here. LeBron chose to come back.
Yes.
You choose a quarterback who was sent here,
Yeah.
who would deliver greatness. No one is questioning
And by
how
the way,
beloved he would
part
be.
of your own argument is you said this team is light years away from winning.
Yeah.
That's why, because the hypothetical was that it happens, not
Well,
that how does it happen or
and,
can it
and
happen.
LeBron came back to a team that had made the playoffs since he left.
But as long as you've got LeBron, you've got a team. And there was Kyrie sitting there too.
Kyrie was there, and LeBron. When Lee Jenkins' story dropped of "I'm coming home,"
Yeah.
LeBron called Kevin that day as soon as the story dropped,
And boom.
and said, "I want you with me." Kevin pulled off on the side of the road. He was driving to work out. He was in LA. He was going to the gym to work out. He couldn't believe LeBron was calling him. He literally, I had a conversation with him about this. He pulled off on the side of the road and took LeBron's call and said, "I'm in." That fast.
Yeah, that's the power
How
of LeBron.
many people
Yeah.
have that type of power? Because the Cavs have been trying to get Kevin Love, and Kevin Love said, "I want no part
Why
of
would he?
Cleveland."
Why would he want to come to play in
One
Cleveland?
phone call, 30 seconds later,
Yeah.
Kevin said, "I'm in."
Power of LeBron.
The power of LeBron to have an entire region where you grew up, love you and adore you, and then hate you,
Yeah.
and then love you,
And then hate you again.
And then there's a fraction. Then
Sure, there's always going to be that.
They're idiots.
The legacy part is safe.
I just think, it's cool now. I don't know why it's cool now to kind of like act like LeBron's legacy ain't what it is. I think it's cool now that people want to take shots at him. But this is a fact. I'm going to just keep it a buck. I know about 10 people that is rich today because of LeBron.
More than 10.
Jason Lloyd is a household name. Jay Crawford and First Take made boatloads of money. Stephen A, Skip, you might as well back the Brinks truck up for them dudes. They were like, listen, they got the best deal. Them deals that they was giving out back then don't exist. That's how cold they was.
That's how Stephen A just got 20 for $100 million.
And he's still cashing in.
And you know what? LeBron is still helping him out.
He's still helping him.
Yep.
You look at Joe Varden, Chris Haynes. I keep going. Brian Windhurst. These dudes got checks. He the first dude that they said, "Hey, you want to move your family just to go cover that man?" And they offered to this. See, Dave McMenamin. These are household names because of him. It's not debatable. I tried to cash in late. They said no. We're not giving you that no more. He's done. You gotta go. You better go the other way. You better get on some other train. But I'm gonna tell you what. The fact that LeBron James, the fact that man came back from 3-1 against the greatest team to ever put gym shoes on, and he did it by himself. This is the reason why LeBron James today is trolling everybody. Because guess what? They openly. People back in the day, the media used to say, "We're not gonna get on MJ." I see stuff in the annals where somebody said this. Michael Jordan, when he had his first child, he was not technically married. And Michael Jordan, they were going to write, "Hey, Michael Jordan," back then, you had kids out of wedlock. That was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
They went to them, he said, "I need you to not print that, dog." Michael Jordan, Michael Wolf, and listen, Wilbon, I love you to death. But y'all had the cape on for Mike. LeBron James is being a troll today because we are having conversations like this. Shedeur Sanders ain't even here yet. And you saying that you would trade the only championships that we've ever seen, the only times where we were on national TV. Mind you, I grew up in an era where everything in Cleveland was blacked out. You couldn't even watch the Browns half the time. The Indians was losing 100 games a year with Brooke Jacoby and Corey Snyder
Hey, I love
and
Brooke
Felix Fermin losing 100 games. And we get LeBron, a dude that was born here, a dude that they said it was going to be that great, a dude. Listen, you can look at the difference. Amani Bates was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and he's in the D-League.
Yeah.
LeBron James was on the cover of Sports Illustrated and just woke up and was like, "I'm the best player ever," arguably. There's only one guy or two guys you can say. Now, when you talk about delivering that and being from here and all the stuff he did in the community and what he's done and won championships in 3 different cities, he's the all-time leading scorer. It is blasphemous. It is crazy. It is diminishing that what that man has done to say a rookie who has never played winning a championship for the Browns is bigger. That's wild work, and nobody in Cleveland should subscribe to that.
So let me ask you this question. Because you're taking that argument as Shedeur versus LeBron. I'm not making that argument. I could never make that argument. Would a Browns championship? And you could throw Shedeur in there because he's Dion's kid and he's on the hook, perhaps. But would a Browns championship in Cleveland surpass the NBA championship that LeBron delivered in 2016?
LeBron James would tell you, yeah.
Of course he would.
He'd be like, yeah,
Because it's
football.
the Browns.
It's football. It's
In a football town.
It's the Browns. Like
Yeah.
that's just that's unequivocal.
And that's the argument I'm making.
Yeah, okay, that's
That's
fine.
what I thought the topic was. Would a Super Bowl delivered by Shedeur be bigger than the NBA championship delivered by LeBron?
Yes, football is king here. No one's going to argue that. But we've seen the play now. We've seen the parade.
Yeah.
You're going to have another parade. All right, cool. Have your parade. You already did that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
no parade's ever
so-
going to beat a
No.
basketball parade because of the time of year.
But that's sort of what I'm saying is like Cleveland had no idea how to throw a parade. That parade took 6.5 hours because they couldn't even put barricades up.
It was a debacle.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But like nobody, it was like the whole, what do I do with my hand? Nobody knew how to act. Nobody knew what to do.
Right.
No one had ever experienced that before. Now if the Browns do
How
it,
slow do we drive?
now if the Browns do it, or if the Guardians do it, which they almost did 6 months later, but like, hey, you got the blueprint now, and now you know how to do it. That's why there is something special and romantic about what that team did that will never be topped.
That's why,
ever.
for me, that's why I would describe it as different. Because for me, it was the first time I got to experience
Yeah.
it. So nothing obviously can ever be the same as that. But could it be bigger? Yeah, I think you win a Super Bowl in Cleveland. The sad thing about it to me is that the parade would have to be February 10th. That's no fun.
Yeah.
That's just no fun.
Yeah.
That day, the weather day that we got, that was
Perfect.
I mean, that was one of the quintessential
Perfect.
days in Cleveland sports history.
Yep.